welcome. How are you guys today? If you guys are watching on YouTube, because this is streaming on YouTube, click the code. Come on over. Come and see us. Hang out. Um, you guys, I'm Jen with Four Hearts ABCs, and I'm just trying to get my. Oh, good, good. It's Julie. Where are you watching from, my friend? Um, we are in Southern Oregon here, enjoying a day off, right? Um, so I got the whole fam home. Connecticut. You guys have snow there in Connecticut? Um, up okay, upcycle you thrifted treasures all weekend. Are you a seller here on the platform, my friend? Do you do all the things? Tell us all about yourself. Um, you guys, so like I said, we are streaming on YouTube. I'm Jen with Four Hearts ABCs. And vignette building. Oh, I love vignettes. Oh, that's so much fun. Okay, I'm gonna angle you guys down because I just wanted you guys to see me for a split second. Not that I'm something to look at, but okay, sorry about the hand in the face. There we go. Okay. So you guys, um, I was gonna do shows today. I was like, oh, we're gonna mini Monday it and we're gonna do all these things. And then I started working on a project last night. I got so very excited about how my project was turning out that I'm like, you know what? I'm in craft mode. I just want to craft. So I moved my craft with me to today and my shows, my selling shows to later because there's always another time, right? And we're gonna craft today. Okay. And we're going to drink some coffee because that's what we need to do. It is still, well, I can't say it's early here in Southern Oregon because honestly, it's 11:30. Um, but it's still definitely um coffee time. It's always coffee time. Okay, you guys. So, I did a live craft with me um a couple days ago, and it was up and on my YouTube channel, and we had a little mishap happen during that, and my son decided to use foul language. um so I had to delete that, but in that video I basically painted these three projects. Okay, so it's okay because they needed time to dry and to cure and to do all their things for this next step. So I'm coming on to do the finishing steps on these projects with you guys. So the first one is we're doing this board here. It's painted, it's ready to go. It needs to be sealed in. So I'm going to set that one aside. We're going to get that one done. This one here is a clock base. It is all painted. I got it um second coat on it. I think it's got pretty good coverage and it's ready to be sealed in. And I got like a bristle, you guys. Don't you hate that when you're sitting there and you're working and all of a sudden you see a bristle? Okay, anyways, we'll figure that out. Okay, so this one's ready to be sealed in and finished up. So that one's ready. Then I painted this one, you guys. Look at how cute this is. How amazing is this? Okay, so this one, you guys, is a silver jewelry box, I believe. When I found it, it was already gutted. There was no lining in it. I assume there was a velvet lining. It's gorgeous though. And I'll show you guys the bottom because I did not paint the bottom. Here's the bottom. It's tarnished and all the things. I probably, once it's all completely sealed in and finished, I probably might take that tarnish cleaner and clean it up a little bit. I don't mind a tarnished looking silver piece, but this looks dirty. I don't like dirty looking. But this is really cool. So I'm probably going to try to clean this up a little bit once I get the paint and everything completely sealed. It does have a sealer on it. This is one of the pieces I did go ahead and add a sealer. And I'll talk to you guys about that. But the reason I painted it, you guys, is because it had already had some kind of weird dark finish on it, and it didn't look good, and it didn't show off any of the really pretty detail on here. And it's not a pristine piece, you guys. Like I said, the lining on the inside is missing. This part right here is dented down just a little bit, but it's still got really good bones. It's super pretty. So and then if we have time, we're gonna work on another project. But um, okay, you guys. So I'm using DIY paint line for the most part, and this is their clay-based paint. So all of these projects, you guys, that I'm doing, I already painted in this color Farm Fresh. That's the color I used for these. So I wanted to share that with you. I sealed this one in already with um with the liquid patina, you guys. So I put liquid patina on it. This is a, like, it's a sealer, yes. It also is like a decoupage medium. It can do a lot of things, but the nice thing is this one, you guys, dries matte. It doesn't dry glossy. We The DIY line does have another top coat sealer like this, that is liquid. It's called Big Top, and it works fantastic. It's amazing, but it does dry down shiny, and so if you don't want a shiny finish, you don't want to use that. So that is what I did to this one here. Okay, the reason I did that is because I'm going to be doing multiple steps to this, and I wanted to seal in that paint. Okay, so if you don't know, chalk paint, clay-based paint, all those things, it does need a sealer, you guys. You have to seal it in. So okay, I was just thinking about what I'm doing, you guys, and I do need to do work on this one first in our time scale, because I want to make sure that we have dry time under control. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Nope, that's not it. I'm using this Pintar Crackle varnish, you guys. And I'm not sponsored by anybody, you guys. If you want to know where I get my products from, just ask me and I can let you know. So this has a two-step process to it. Now, this one, you guys, I got specifically for this application, which is you can add it over the top of your finished paint. Okay. If you want a crackle medium that you put down and then you put your paint over it, this is not that product line. Okay. This product line is if you are wanting that crackle after you've already applied your paint. So that's what I'm going to use on this project, you guys. I was really excited. I used it on a couple of other projects, and it worked out really, really good, you guys. I'm very happy with my results. So what you're going to do is we're going to add step number 1, you guys. This is basically like the equivalent of what I would think of school glue. It's very thick. Okay, very thick, and you kind of want to put it on closer on the thicker side. I think that um like, I don't know, the results I've had in the past is the thicker you put it on, the better the crackle results are. Okay, so you just put it on. Like I said, it's really thick, like school glue. And so you put it on, and we're basically going to let it dry. Now, I'm not putting on any other uh like finishing top coat over the top of this paint. This crackle medium is gonna seal it in, and I'm going to be waxing over the top of it after this anyways. So you just kind of put on a thick coat. It will dry clear. So don't fret about that. And while I'm doing that, you guys, let me know, where are you guys watching from? What are you doing today on this holiday? Martin Luther King Day. It's not really a day we do any big celebrations, right? I mean, not to say he wasn't an important person, but There's no, I don't know if there's like any picnics that go on. Nobody's gonna picnic in January, y'all. Okay, but no house parties, no big things, right? We just enjoy the day off, celebrate it with family or crafting or, whatever you want to do. It's a day that, most of our stuff is closed and especially the schools, and we get a day off, but the banks are closed and all the things, you can't go doing any real adulting today. So why not just sit in your craft room and just craft the day away, right? Actually, you guys, I have a lot of projects I'm trying to get through because I'm getting ready to take a trip. I leave at the end of the week and I am heading to Arizona to go see my mom. And so I'm just trying to like get my projects done. I'm in some Ray trains and I'm getting I have a lot of things coming up and I just want to get as much done as I can. I probably should be working on my taxes. Anybody else feeling that way? Like, nobody wants to do taxes, y'all. I mean, we pretty much always get a refund back, but nobody wants to do it. You know what I mean? So, okay, you guys. So we're, like I said, I'm just applying this liberally. Like it is thick. It is, I'm just getting it on. And then we're going to set it aside and let it dry. You can apply, like a air drying faster of application to this. I don't normally do that if I can help it on this top coat, on this first number one coat here, because I feel like I think it works better if it just dries naturally as much as possible. I mean, obviously we are going to be trying to get this done on a live and we can't really wait for forever to do this, but I'm going to be able to do some other projects between coats, so that will give me time to kind of let this do its thing. Because you have to, for this to work, this coat, this first coat here, has to dry completely. And then when we add the second application, the second part to this, it's basically going to, we're going to want that one to dry faster. So we're going to apply the heat gun to it. And when we do that, it's going to dry it faster and we're going to get that crackle. Now this is thick, so this is going, look at that bristle, yikes. This is thick, so this is going on thick and it's going to dry kind of thick, right? And then basically, I think the way it basically is going to work is that when number two comes in, step number two comes in, it dries faster than this one and it will crack this layer. So this layer has to go on thick for the other layer to go fast and be able to crack it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So yeah, this is like school glue for the most part. And you guys do know that like I said, if you are wanting a different application, if you are wanting to, let's say you guys want to put something down and get a crackle and then paint, that will actually work really, really well. I use, now, let me say real fast though, it does give you a different crackle, you guys. It's a different look altogether, okay? When I use school glue, I do use school glue, and I go to the Dollar Tree, y'all, or I get it when it's on sale during like the back to school time, but you guys get the cheapest school glue you can get. And what you do is you put a thick layer down, like thick. The thicker the layer of school glue, the bigger and more dramatic your cracks are going to be. And then what you do is you take whatever kind of paint. I use chalk paint when I do mine. Like I said, I really like the DIY paint line. That's my go-to as far as paint goes. That's what I use. But you take your school glue, you apply it pretty thick. The thicker you go, the bigger the crackle is going to be. And you don't wait for it to dry. As soon as you're done getting that school glue on your surface, you are going to apply your paint over the top. And the trick is though, is that, all right, I think I pretty much got this, you guys. As you can see, it's really thick and white. Layer number one, or step number one. Hold on, let me, just want to make sure there's no like big spots that are looking weird. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside, you guys. I'm gonna let that dry completely, okay? Completely. I'm gonna try to let it do its natural drying process. This is layer number one. There's the brand if you guys want to screenshot that. Once this is completely dry, then we're going to go in and we're going to do layer number two, and that's going to give us the crackle. Now, like I said, was saying about the school glue method is when you do your paint, I'm going to put that with this so I remember what's what here. When you guys do your paint on that, you want to get a thick layer of paint and do one swipe over the school glue. You don't want to go back and forth. You don't want to mix your paint into your school glue. You just want to right over the top, put the paint, right? So what's going to happen is with that method, and you can heat gun that method for sure. Once that paint dries, it's going to start drying into that school glue. And once that school glue dries, it starts to separate. And that's what's going to give you those cracks. And once you get those cracks, you guys, let it completely dry. And then you're going to want to add your wax and show off the cracks and all that. The more school glue you add, the thicker the cracks are going to be on that. Okay. So, on to this project, you guys. Again, I painted it with the DIY Farm Fresh, sealed it in with liquid patina, okay? And it could be done right now if you really wanted it to. I mean, it's cute. I didn't get like a whole bunch of like really great coverage because a couple of reasons. First of all, I did messy coats. It's not, and I stippled it on. This is a very, very slick surface because it is silver. Okay. Um, but also because you're using clay-based paint, okay, this clay-based paint has to be sealed. Okay. It is water soluble. It is going to, if I added water to this right now, I'm going to be able to wet distress it, all the things, it's going to come off. Okay. Um, if you're using it on like wood, it's going to come off the wood, but it has already sunk into the fibers of the wood. I mean, that's just, I mean, that makes sense, right? But like a slick surface, it's just going to wipe right off if I got this wet. That could be good. That could be bad. If you mess it up, it's good. You can wipe it off. If you want it on there for forever, that's not a good thing. So when you add a liquid sealer onto your chalk paint, um, depending on how hard you go over it, how many times you go over it, all those things, you're rubbing on it, right? You're going to get some that's going to come up. I'm okay with that because of all these other steps I'm going to be doing. Okay, so this is sealed with that patina. And, you know, I painted it. I like the way it looks. It's sealed. Now we're going to go in with dark wax DIY. You guys, actually, the wax by this company is actually why I started using their paint. I kind of feel like the clay-based paint, it's awesome. It covers really, really well. It sticks to pretty much any surface. I've not really found one it doesn't stick to. Um, I really like the paint line, but it's all about for me the wax. I've used other waxes from other companies and yeah, they work and all, but I just really like the way this one goes on and the way you can work with it. So this is their dark wax. It's not black, okay? So they have a black wax and then they have the dark wax. It's like black with a really with a hint of brown in it, or you would say like a super dark brown color. Okay. So here we go. I'm just going to dip my chippy brush in there and I'm just going to go for it, you guys. There's no rhyme, no reason. I'm just wanting to get that wax in there. Okay, the most important part to this is I want it down to the bottom of all of those little details in there. Okay, which is part of why I use a chippy brush. A chippy brush is great because you can pounce it down in there. You're gonna ruin your brush. I mean, that's just all there is to it. And the nice thing is because wax does not come out of a brush, y'all. I don't know. They have brush cleaner and the brush cleaner is amazing and all, but it ain't doing it for the wax. So, anyways, the other thing is these chippy brushes, like they're super cheap, so you don't have to feel bad that you're ruining it. And so that's what I use. No rhyme, no reason. I'm just getting it down in there. I want it on all of those in all those little nooks and crannies and all the things. So that's what I'm focusing on, is just really making sure it's down in there. And the longer you let your wax sit on your surface, you guys, it's going to start drying and the more it's going to stay on there. Now, let's say you are doing a project and you don't want it to be as dark as it's coming out. Like, oh my gosh, that is way too dark. What you're going to do is you're going to take your clear wax and you're going to apply your clear wax over your wet darker wax, and it's going to act kind of like an eraser, and it's going to start lightening up and helping you remove some of that dark wax. Okay, so if your project starts becoming way too dark for your liking, like you thought you wanted it to look like that and then that happened, kind of a thing, just give it some clear wax. Okay, so I'm really wanting those spots down in the grooves to be really dark. And I want to make sure I'm getting all of my spots. Now, what I am going to need to do is make sure that I clean up the wax on the lip when I'm done. Now, I did do that for the paint. I was able to go in and make sure that the paint wasn't drying and curing in that lip there. And I'm going to do the same thing with the wax and just really make sure that's cleaned up before I'm completely done with this project. And I probably could use some heat to the wax if it dries a little bit more than I wanted and buffer it out. I mean, when you're doing clear wax, it's really not a big deal because, it dries clear and no one's going to see it. But with this darker wax, I am going to just kind of want to clean it up from that inner lip because, obviously my bristles are going in those spots. So, okay. So now that this little layer here has had a chance to dry, I'm just going to get I gotta reach, get a paper towel. You can use a fiber cloth and that kind of stuff. I just use paper towels, y'all. Okay, look at that. Look at how it brings out all of those details. Oh my goodness. Now, you guys, I stippled this paint on because I don't like the looks of brush strokes. So this is a stippled on paint. So I did give it some texture by doing that. Okay. And I wanted this piece to be feminine, but not girly. Does that make sense? So this, and it was, like I said, it was a older piece for sure. And it had already had signs of, signs of life, you know, it's lived a life. So it was never going to be pristine. So I'm okay with it not completely looking brand new, which it's not going to. Okay. Now, if I didn't like this, if I said, oh my gosh, this is too much, I could add the clear wax. Or if for some reason I wanted more, like let's say I'm like, oh, that's just not showing up good enough, you just add more. Okay. You just add more in there, you let it do its thing, and then you wipe back again as you go along. Now, I want to show off some of the details on the side and stuff. There is one detail that I really don't want to show off, but there's really no way around it. It's going to be seen, and it's right in the front. There is a spot. Oh, got a little. There is a spot right here. I don't know if y'all can see it, where the there is a chip that came out of the finish on this. So that's going to be highlighted. We're just going to have to highlight all of the perfections, imperfections, all the things. There's no way around it. So just embrace it, and know that your piece, if you're using this method on an older piece, you're gonna have imperfections. That's the way it's gonna be. And hopefully whoever gets this piece, because this will go up on a Whatnot sale, whoever gets this piece, hopefully they love that. You know, hopefully they're looking for something that is perfectly imperfect, I've heard someone say before, or evidence of life, or, you know, there's so many good sayings out there, because in the vintage world, we do love a good piece that has a story to tell. It's been around the block, that kind of thing, you know. So, yeah. So this is, again, just a silver old jewelry box or container or whatever you want to call it that I picked up, and it was already like in it was not in great shape. And to be honest, like I said, I'm not against things being showing age and life and stuff, but this one had like some kind of funky finishing on it, and it wasn't a good kind of funk, you know what I mean? Like, it did not look good. And it was like they tried to force patina onto it, but it wasn't natural, if that makes sense. Like, there wasn't a natural looking dark patina to it. So, so that's why I painted it, and we're just kind of giving it new life. I did put it in a sale, couple weeks ago. I put it in a sale as a salvage piece, because that's pretty much what it is, right? And it didn't go, so I thought, okay, good. That just gives me the chance to finish it like I was planning to do in the first place. So, okay, here we go. So now we're just gonna, like I said, it's like it kind of reminds me of the Karate Kid. You just wax on, wax off. So, I'm gonna start getting that lip down here that we were talking about. There we go. Now this is showing off, you guys, the detail down here, and I love this. So that's showing off like that detail there. So good. So good. This is not a this is a messy crafting project, you guys. There's no way around it. You're gonna make a mess. When you're working with wax, even if it's clear wax, it's messy. It's a messy job, and that's okay. I don't mind getting messy, but you do have to be aware, though, when you're doing that, you know, be aware of fingerprints and touching anything else. So now I'm seeing, you guys, I'm seeing on this piece some some weird spots coming through, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And I think I did seal this in with like a I sealed it in with a primer before I started, but not multiple coats. Like I just did one quick little coat and I washed it first and that kind of stuff. So you would hope that this kind of stuff wouldn't come through, but again, we're just embracing the imperfections. Okay, so let me show you guys what I'm talking about. And then you guys, I'm gonna rush real fast and just go wash my hands off really quick so that I don't get this all over everything else. Okay, so if you guys can kind of see this, do you see that darker spots right there? Like there's the lighter normal, and then that spot right there is darker. Let me see if I can, okay, here we go. There's a spot right there. That's a really good indication of what I'm talking about. Now that might dry down. That might dry, and you know, once the wax is dry, these spots that are darker might actually fade. And it might not look like that when it's done. But I can't say for sure that that's going to happen. And I think that is the finish that was already on it before I started this process. So you guys, check out my upcoming shows and all of that. I'm going to go wash my hands really quickly, and then I'll be right back to show you my next step on this beauty, because there is another step I'm going to do. So stick around, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I'm getting it. Unfortunately, wax makes a big mess. Okay, here I come. And I'm back, y'all. Hopefully you guys didn't go anywhere. Okay, here we go. We are going to do this next step. I need to get some paper towel and clean off my hands. Get me a dry hands, y'all. Okay, hopefully y'all didn't go anywhere. Okay, let's finish this piece. Like I said, hi baby, most of the product line that I like to use is the DIY paint line. But every once in a while, you know, you need another product to do what you need. And this wax is not dry, you guys. So this is still going to come off on my hands and do all the things. But for the most part, I'm not going to get it as my hands as dirty as I had them before. Okay, so I do like to use the DIY line, but sometimes they don't have everything you need. Like the crackle medium I was just using. Not DIY line, because they don't make such a thing. And then for this project, you guys, because it is, you know, it's a silver box, right? So I want to use silver to finish off the top. So I'm going to use this silver gilding wax, and this is a Dixie Belle product. So that's what I want to use. I'm just going to add this to the top of my project here and highlight some of the beautiful things it's got going on. So with this stuff, that's kind of how it comes. Okay, and here's in case you want to take a screenshot of what it's got going on. Okay, I'm just going to rub my finger in there, get it on my finger. Okay, and then I just want to touch very lightly on those beautiful details. Okay, I'm just gonna rub, rub, rub. It's kind of like Rub and Buff. If you're familiar with that product line, it's kind of like that. This is just silver wax. It's called gilding wax. And so, can you see what I'm talking about? See how? So now we have the color of the original paint down there. We have the dark wax highlighting the underneath parts. And now we're going to have this silver wax highlighting the tops. We're going to be getting a lot of dimension on this and hopefully just highlighting the beauty of this piece. And I just thought the silver was kind of appropriate for what this piece actually is. And it doesn't take a whole lot, you guys, for of this silver wax. So you can kind of, a little goes a long ways. That's what I'm trying to say. You're gonna get a container like this and it's gonna last you for a lot of projects. And I haven't used the silver a whole lot, to be honest. But sometimes it's called for, like this project. This project, you know, you're not going to put gold on it or copper or anything like that. And the inside is silver. It just doesn't look appropriate for the piece. So, all right. And it's not that, it doesn't take that long. Now we're going to have to let it dry, of course. It is wax. It's going to need to dry. Here we go, getting it done. Okay, you guys, so while I'm doing this, tell me in the comments, have you ever used silver gilding wax before? Did you know that was a thing? Let me know in the comments. Let's see what I want to do here. See if I can be light-handed enough to get this just where I want it. I don't think I want it in the center of the circle of the flower here. A little bit got on there, but I think I just want it on the petals. All right, that's not bad. I think I got it. Now I could have used like a smaller paintbrush to do it, but then I'm just getting out another tool and I don't want to do that. Okay, you guys, here we go. We're going to do it down here on the handle. Get that done. And then I am not going to highlight this oopsie spot here. I don't want that highlighted. I am going to go around the edge of the lip of this trim here. And I might hit these pieces down here on the side and highlight those as well. But I don't want to highlight that spot in the very front where it's not good. And I don't want to highlight the opening clasp either. Okay. So I have to be really careful I don't hit that spot. Thank you guys so much for joining today's show and watching me craft. Why craft alone when you can craft with friends, right? Okay, so I'm going to just try to hit just the tiniest bit of this here. Oh, that worked. That looks good. Okay. And again, it's just super light-handed. And I want to avoid this spot right here because I don't want to highlight that at all. That's that spot that had some of the stuff come off. Oh, I want to get this a little bit more on the front here. There we go. So here we go. And then I think I'm going to highlight this bottom ridge as well. I think that might look good. But you just go as far as you want, you know. You get something like this and you paint it up and maybe you don't want to use dark wax. You just want to put the clear wax on and seal it in. Maybe you, you know, want to use the dark wax and stop there. You know, these kind of projects when they're DIY, it's you do what you like, what looks good to you. And if you don't like it, you guys, it's just paint. You can paint over it. You might have to take some extra steps and, you know, seal and prime and all the things, you know, to make sure that, you know, the next paint job actually, you know, sticks and applies right. But it's just paint, you guys. Paint and products. It can be changed up. It can be fixed. if you don't like it, but you'll never know unless you try it out, right? So, hello, hello. Welcome in. I see you guys popping in. Okay, you guys. And just like that, you guys, I think this thing is done. Besides me cleaning the bottom of it, I think it's done. I think it turned out so good. It is exactly the way I thought it should be. I'm very, very happy with it. And so I'm going to have to clean that bottom up. Like I said, I'm going to let this thing completely dry. And let all that sealant and wax and all the things do their drying process. And then I'm going to take that tarnish remover, for metals and stuff and for silver. And I'm going to clean the bottom of this thing up and try to um, try to see if I can't make that bottom look nicer. But look at how good this thing looks, you guys. Look at how good it looks. Okay, on my social media, I am going to do, I'm going to show this off on my social media. See, that's that bottom I need to clean up. But on my social media, you guys, I'm going to do a before and after photo of this. So if you guys did not see this before, and you're just really curious what it looked like, definitely check out 4 Hearts ABCs. I'm on TikTok and Facebook and also on Instagram, so you can see it there. And if you don't see it when you go in, just check back again, because I'm really bad about getting busy and forgetting what I'm supposed to be doing. So okay, let's set this one aside. Let's set it aside and let's check in on the product or the project that we were working on a minute ago. Okay, so here we go, you guys. This is the one that we just added that step 1 to, and you can see some of the white still drying, but you can see it's drying clear. Okay, so it's not completely dry yet, but it is getting there. So step 1 is drying. Set that one aside there, and let's move on to this beauty. Let's do this one. Okay, so for this one, I want to, again, okay, it's got like a, there we go, we got it. It had a little bristle in it, and it was driving me crazy. Okay, this one, you guys, I'm going to go again with that dark wax. I'm kind of excited about this one. I think it's going to look amazing. So, we're going to do some dark wax in this one as well. It has not been sealed in though at all. And so what I'm going to do before I apply the dark wax to this is I want to take a chippy brush and my clear wax first, still using DIY. And some of the spots where I know I don't want it quite as dark, okay, I'm going to pre-wax it with the clear, okay, so that it's not going to be like in your face darkness, okay? So I'm going to pre-wax over some of the spots I don't want to be super dark. Okay. So there we go. Getting that in there. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to do with this piece, you guys. I don't know if I want it to be a clock face again, or if I want it to, if I want to make a little assemblage in there. I have to see if the clock itself works. I bought this piece not knowing if the clock in it worked or not. You know how that goes. So where did I, oh, here's the clock face. So here's the clock face. It doesn't have any glass. It's pretty like that cheap, shiny stuff, but it is a modern clock. So I feel like I could replace this piece if I really wanted to, but then I'd have to include that cost into the cost of the project. So it's just things to consider. But I want to, like I said, seal this in a little bit before I get that dark wax on there, just so that the dark wax doesn't take over in the spots I don't want it to go. So we're just going to, I guess the flowers don't really matter because I have a different plan for that. So not going to waste my clear wax on the flowers, I guess. But I don't want the whole clock to just be like crazy in your face. Now, you guys, this DIY paint, okay, so you're looking at it, it's pretty dark in the can. And then it dries down lighter. And then when you add your finish, it darkens back up. Now, this color is, once that wax, the clear wax dries, it wouldn't be this dark. It would be like between the two, if that makes sense, like between the two shades of darkness. And so just know that when you're picking out a color, that it's going to dry down super light, and then depending on what finish you put on it, it's going to darken back up. Okay. I did not paint the bottom of this. It actually, the bottom didn't look too bad, so I didn't paint the bottom. But you definitely could. If it doesn't look good, if it looks dingy, or you're just not digging the color or whatever it was, you could definitely do the bottoms of your projects. Like I said, I painted the inside of the clock because I wasn't sure what I'm doing with this project. And so that part won't be finished today because I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But I wanted to get the finishes on so that I at least had an idea of what, sometimes you have to look at a project one step at a time to kind of decide where you're going with it. You know what I mean? So, okay. So there we go. Clear wax is on, you guys. It's on the spots that I really did not want that darker wax to stick really hard to. So now I'm going to go in and, where did I just, is this the one I was just using? It is. Oh my gosh. Put that with the clear wax. Okay. Here we go. We're waxed up, y'all. Okay. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to take, I might add more there. I don't know if that got clear wax or not. I'm going to go and take my dark wax, and now I'm going to apply that. And it's basically going to darken up this whole situation, the whole thing. But I like the way the last project turned out so well, that, which was kind of like, I already knew I definitely wanted to do that to the last project, but this one I was kind of like, oh, we'll see how the other project turned out first. You know what I mean? So this one, I definitely knew that once, if that other project worked out, I wanted to do this project in this fashion. My biggest concern right now is making sure I get this dark wax in all of these nooks and crannies of these flowers. I want it down in those holes. And I use a chippy brush when I do my wax, and it is because you can shove it into all those holes, and which is pretty much what I'm wanting. I'm wanting to shove this wax in everywhere. Okay, I want it in all of those spots. Where I added the clear wax, I'm going to be able to remove more of the dark wax. And where I didn't, and the dark wax is going straight onto the paint, it is going to stay much more in those spots. But these chippy brushes, you guys, I get them from Harbor Freight. I get them in a like a little boxed package situation, and they're pretty inexpensive, so I don't have to feel bad that I'm pretty much destroying it and I'm going to be throwing it away. because it is a cheaper product. Now, if I was going to, let's say I used a actual really good paintbrush to do this, first of all, I know I'm going to ruin it because of my stippling, right? It's just pushing those bristles out and they're not going to come back, right? The other thing is I'm also, this wax does not like to come out of paintbrushes. So I don't have to feel bad that I'm using a paintbrush that I'm not that in love with and is going to be able to be thrown away. So, okay. Now that I've done this side of the flowers, I'm going to take the next step. Well, before this completely cures and dries, I'm going to take the next step and I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm going to wipe back that dark wax. Okay. I'm going to wipe it back. It's going to stay in all the nooks and crannies of the flowers. Okay. But it is going to come off a little bit to highlight the tips of the flowers. Okay. I like the way this is turning out. It's exactly how I had envisioned it. I wanted this to be more spring in color and theme, but not like bright in your face. Does that make sense? Something that you could put up for spring, but you also could leave up for fall or all the other seasons. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining, you guys. We are just crafting and chatting. Let us know where you're watching from. What are you doing today? How's your day going? Okay, there we go. So, there it is, you guys. What do you guys think? Is that better? Do you like that better than this? I think so. Like, this is just a glob of something. That is a bundle of flowers, right? Am I right? Okay. So now we're going to do this other side. Again, when you're working with wax, just know you're going to be a mess. It's going to be messy. So we're going to do this other side, and then I will get the wax on everything else on this piece, and then we'll do another step. So, I do kind of like this application though, because it doesn't take very long to get it done. It's pretty quick. You just gotta get her in all the spots. And this DIY wax, you guys, I love this stuff. It is so easy, buttery smooth, and easy to maneuver around, get it in the spots you want it, wipe it off. So good. And again, if you guys are just joining and didn't hear me say it before, if you are using dark wax, make sure that you are taking steps to get the results you really want. So if you are not wanting really dark wax in some spots, like I didn't here, you're going to want to add a sealer in beforehand. You're going to want to seal it with a clear sealer, a clear wax, something like that, before you put that dark wax on there. And then, like for this application, because I'm using wax, and I do want the dark wax to go into certain spots. I used the clear wax in the spots I didn't want it super dark. And I can go back because we're using wax, I can go back with a clear wax after the dark, and I can add clear wax in to kind of smooth out and dilute the dark wax, it will act kind of like an eraser for the dark wax and help take it out of the spots you don't really want it so dark in. But if you guys are using dark wax on straight chalk paint, it is, because it is a, you know, water soluble chalky situation, it's going to want to soak in anything that gets put on it. So it's going to want to soak in that dark wax. It's not going to want to release it so easy. So just know that. That's part of why you want to put a clear sealer over it before you put that dark. Okay, you guys. So, oh, a couple more spots I see that are not. I want to push this dark wax into those spots, you guys. Okay, if you guys are interested in any of the product line that I'm using, you can ask questions, you can PM me, you know, whatever, and I would be happy to share with you guys where I get my stuff. I don't get paid to use these products. I just use what I like. So okay, here we go, you guys. Wiping back that dark wax. And here we go. Now, the nice thing is this piece was not perfect. It's not meant to be perfect, but it did need a little something extra. You know what I mean? So, okay. I like the way this is looking, you guys. This is really, it's turning out just like I was hoping, which, you know, if you're a crafter, you know that does not always happen. But I've been having good luck lately with my projects. Okay, there we go. So now we have the flowers done, and that's the part I really needed to focus on, getting the dark wax in those grooves. So here we go. Now we're going to focus on the body of the clock. I put clear wax all over this at the beginning, so that, yes, I do want the dark wax to get in there and to darken it up so that it all looks seamless. It looks the same, but I didn't want this part to be so bold and in your face dark. So I did put that clear wax on there so that I could move the dark wax around a little bit more. So there we go. Just gonna put that on there. You guys, it just really, the application doesn't really matter. You just want to get it on, you know. And then we're just gonna take our cloth and wipe it back. It's like Mr. Miyagi and the Karate Kid, and it's just a wax on, wax off kind of situation. If you wipe it off and you don't like the look of it, and it's like, oh, I really wanted it darker, you could add more dark wax to it. But also remember that it has to dry. Once it dries, then you're really going to get a good feel of what it looks like. You know what I mean? So here's the color we started with. Okay. Just DIY paint, dried down. That's the color. And then this is the clear wax here, and then the dark wax. Here's what we're doing with it, right? So multiple steps, but it does make a difference in the finishing of your project and what it's going to look like. And it's all up to, what do you want it to look like? Now, I'm not going to do anything to the inside, really. I mean, a little bit's getting in there, but I'm not really going to focus on the inside of this clock base, because I'm still not sure what I want to do to it. Like, do I want to make it a clock? Do I want to make it an assemblage holder? You know, like do a little scene on the inside or something like that. I'm not quite sure yet. So I'm not going to seal that in quite yet. I'm not going to really focus on that and worry about it until until I get a better idea. And then I can always go back and add in wax, or because it might end up having um, that clock face back in it. If that's the case, and it might be going in and out, as people change out the battery and that kind of stuff, I might just take like a big top sealer and seal it in with that. And just take that liquid sealer and make sure it is good and sealed. Not to say that the waxes don't seal really well, because I feel like they do. Once they've had a chance to dry and cure, they really do a good job of getting that done. Okay, you guys, oh my gosh, I love how this is turning out. This is so good. What do you guys think of this so far? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Just want to add just a little bit more. Make sure that these little creases right here really got a good amount of wax in them, so that they're really good and sealed, because I don't want someone to get this and then little bits and pieces don't have the sealant in them. Hello, Chris. How are you, my friend? Okay, here you guys go. Okay, you guys, at home with Chris that just popped in, you guys. She is a good friend of mine. She also does craft and chats, and she's on YouTube as well. So, hello. Okay, so Chris, I'm making a multitude of projects. I'm actually finishing some projects because I'm gonna set that out of the way. So, see you guys, like I'm a mess. Okay. I did a chat and craft with me earlier in the week, last week sometime, and my son accidentally got on my video and used foul language. So those in the live got to hear all of that. But as far as my YouTube channel, I had to delete the video, you guys. I was a little sad because it was really fun. I mean, mostly everybody was watching me paint, right? But I had to put on that it had explicit language and adult content, and I couldn't do that with the live, so I had to delete it. But that's okay. So I'm just coming on and taking those projects that I was working on last week, and I am finishing them. I'm showing how I'm finishing them. So, sorry, taking a drink of coffee. So hopefully everybody loves it. You guys, like I said, I was gonna do some sales today, and I moved that show because, or those shows, multiple, because I started working on projects last night and I got so excited I didn't want to stop. So instead we're chatting and crafting. Okay. So you guys, I did this one. Okay. I finished my silver jewelry box. Okay. So put the silver gilding wax on there to match the silver. Not, I mean, they don't match exactly, but you know, it sticks with the same theme. So this one's finished. I think this one turned out absolutely amazing. I'm very excited about how it looks. So that one's drying. We're letting this piece finish drying. Step number 1. You can see the white on there. It's still doing its thing. Okay. So we're letting that one dry. And now we're working on this piece here. This was a clock. Okay. I don't know if it's going to go back to being a clock or if I'm going to make like a little assemblage situation in here. So I'm not doing anything with this yet, but we're making this pretty. So we've painted it with the DIY Farm Fresh. We've sealed it in with clear and dark wax. We've brought out all the beauty of these flowers. Oh my goodness, they are so good. So by putting on that dark wax, we now have all of those details. The dark wax is in all of those details. We wiped it back to expose the green on the surface, right? Now we have dimension. We're going to go a step further to make this even better. So I'm going to use DIY's Golden Rule gold gilding wax. So I used I use the silver gilding wax by Dixie Belle on the jewelry box because there's no silver with DIY. But now I'm going to use the gold. I do love this stuff, you guys. Um, the only thing is, oh, good, sometimes when you don't use it enough, like often enough, I should say. Sometimes the DIY wax will actually separate a little bit, like the pigment will separate from the wax itself. That doesn't mean anything's wrong with it. It just means that over time it's separated. You guys, it's all made with natural products. So it's going to separate and it's fine. I just take I have like a spatula, like a rubber spatula situation, and I just stir it up and it's all good. So this looks like I've used it not too long ago. So um oh, when you leave it upside down it doesn't do that. Well, Chris, that that is interesting to know, but here's the thing. I have craft supplies anywhere and everywhere I can shove them, so I can't guarantee anything's going to be put any which way. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know not to store them sideways and all, but I'll try that. I'll have to try that. Um, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so here we go. Gilding wax on the finger. Very, very light touch, you guys. You can always add more, but it's hard to take it back once you've added it. So, um, just barely touching, you guys, barely touching. And you can use a paintbrush if you want. I'm not really into doing that. I kind of like just going for it with my finger. Um, but yeah, very light touch. You're going to just kind of go over it. This stuff, you guys, is, um, if you spread it pretty thin, it is still going to give you a shimmer, but it's not going to be like in your face. Does that make sense? Um, so I love it though. I don't think it takes a whole lot, but it does give you quite the dramatic changeover. You know what I mean? So, and I thought since we had that gold um, face to the clock, if we end up putting the clock face back, this is really going to coordinate with that. So I like that. I like that idea. And no, this is turning out really good. I wasn't sure. Like I said, you guys, I did that silver first because I knew for sure that's what I wanted to do to the silver. Um, but this one I was like, I'm not quite sure what I want to do. So I wanted to do the silver one first so I could test it out and see if I liked it with the dark wax first going down into all the little holes. And then I know it looks really good, huh, Chris? But I did, I was thinking about it and thinking, I bet you that dark going down in there would, give it a lot of contrast. And it has. I think it's turned out really, really good. I mean, I love this. I love this. And I think it's really pretty. And like I said, this stuff, you guys, I've had this gilding wax for forever. It's been a very long time that I've had this because it really does not take a lot to spread it around. You really don't need much at all to make that impact, which is great because we all want more bang for our buck, right? We want to make it pretty, but we don't want to spend a ton to make it pretty. So, um, would you guys have put the gold on here? Let me know in the comments. Would you have put the gold? Would you have thought to put the gold? It does last long. Yeah, it does. I'm really happy with this. Yeah. This looks really, really good. I said normally I use the gold. I've actually barely ever used that silver that I was using. I've had it for a while, but I've not really used it. I personally, which is really weird because I personally Like I don't wear gold jewelry. I wear silver when I do wear jewelry. Um, I like like white gold and silver tones to my jewelry. I prefer silver tones in my home decor. Um, and I don't know if that's just because I was like an 80s girl and like everything back then was done with, that kind of stuff. Right? I love silver. But and it's so weird because when I'm making these DIYs, I've used this gold so many times and I absolutely love it. It's kind of my go-to. Again, maybe because it's DIY and I do really like their products. Um, but I don't, yeah, I've not really used that silver very much. But I thought for the silver, um, for the application I needed for that silver jewelry box, I think it definitely needed to be silver. Okay, I'm going to highlight some of these arches and different spots like that for this. Again, super easy to do with this stuff, you guys. I mean, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. And it's going to fancy it up, but it's not going to be, I don't know. I don't think it cheapens it at all. I don't think it's like gaudy or that kind of thing. So there we go. Just enough, I think. What do you guys think? Just enough. So let's move it this way. Get this side all done up. And then touch this. And again, you guys, if you don't like it, paint over it. It's okay. You can do it. It's just paint. You can always paint over it if you don't like it. But again, if you paint it, you guys, you might have to just kind of think out your steps because this does have, wax and paint and all the things. And so if someone was to paint over this, let's say I didn't like it and I had to paint over it, I'd have to seal it in, give it time to cure, that kind of stuff. So okay, so you guys, I was working on last night. I was talking to you guys about how I got so excited crafting that I just decided I need to continue. You know, when you get in the crafting like zone, you don't want to get out of the crafting zone when it's good. I was working on a project for my. I have a raid train that I'm conducting, and it's called Zero to Hero, and it's at the end of this month, you guys. Bookmark it. It's going to be so good. So it is a crafting, upcycling, friendly competition, y'all. Friendly competition. So everyone has to get an item that is free or less than $5, and then they have to make it over. And then we're going to have 15 minutes to show the item and um and auction it off. And the person who gets the most for their item, because we're all starting at that very low price point, right? The person who gets the most for their item wins bragging rights and the ability to come back for the next month's train. So, even though I'm not technically in the contest because I'm the conductor and that's not fair, I'm still going to be participating by making things over and bringing them to you guys. So, I did my project last night. I got it completely finished this morning. It turned out absolutely amazing. I'm so excited. And yeah, so that's what I was working on that got me so excited. But here we go, you guys. Finished. What do you guys think? Is that not just absolutely gorgeous? I just think this is great. Now it's going to dry, and when it dries, it's going to dry a little bit lighter. The green is going to be a little bit lighter. It's never going to go back to this super light state here, and especially with that darker wax on the outside of it. And I stippled, so there's a lot of little nooks and crannies in there for that dark wax to settle into. But um yeah, this is amazing. I think it turned out so good. And if I decide to add this clock face back in there, what I probably will be doing is I will be adding that gilding wax, the gold gilding wax that I put on this. I probably will take it and put it around this piece as well, so that it makes it look a little less shiny, cheap gold, and B, it will also have the same gold tone as the clock face. So that's probably what I will do with that. But this one, you guys, is done. Finished. So good. Again, look on my social media if you want to see how I do things, and check back with me, because I will be putting those kinds of things on there. Okay, you guys, this piece here is, for the most part, done and ready to go. So what I did, let's share, is I put the Farm Fresh paint on there. I did do 2 solid coats. I wanted to make sure this had good coverage. I did stipple on it because I don't like brush strokes. And then I put on step 1 of this Pintar crackle varnish. Okay, so step 1, you put it on. It's like school glue. You put it on super thick, you let it dry completely before you go on to step 2. Okay, and oh, there's a little piece here that's not supposed to be there. Okay, so this is step 1 on here, almost completely dry. I'm gonna actually try to speed it up just a little bit because I do want to get to the next step. Uh-oh. You guys, I just got this brand new heat gun, okay? It's a Ryobi. I do love Ryobi's product line, okay? Got a lot of my power tools from them. This sucker takes so much power that I cannot keep a live battery for very long. So, anyways, we're going to dry this down really quick. Try to get it as dry as we can so that I can get to the next step with you guys. But this is step 1. It goes on like school glue. The nice part about this stuff is you can add it over paint. So you don't have to add it before you paint, which is what you have to do with a lot of the crackle mediums out there and methods. And not to say that I don't like that method as well, but if you're looking at a project and you're just not 100% sure what it is you're going to be doing to that project, it is a good idea to, if you've already painted it, to maybe look into a medium like this if you've decided you want that crackle finish. So just trying to heat this up and speed up the process so that we can go on to the next step number 2 on this. Part of doing this and making sure you get it on nice and thick means it also takes a little bit longer. Oh, it's bubbling. Ah, don't bubble. It takes a little bit longer for it to dry down. So, okay, we're just gonna go for it, you guys. We're just gonna go for it, because y'all are here to see this take place, right? And so you've never used it. Well, I saw another YouTuber use it, and I thought, you know what? I might as well give it a try. Now, I will say, if you're looking for a like a normal, natural, smaller crackle, this stuff is awesome. This stuff works really, really well for that. If you're looking for those big, chunky crackles, I highly suggest doing the school glue method. I use that all the time. Um, But for this application, this works really, really well. I don't know how this is going to turn out with that still being kind of wet, but we're going to go for it anyways because ain't nobody got time to sit around and wait for forever for this to work. So you put on step number 1, you let it completely dry, okay? And then you put on step number 2. This stuff, you guys, is super thin, super, super thin. So just know that, yeah, you're going to have to really kind of watch where it goes as you're putting it on because it is a dripper, okay? It is a dripper. So you just basically, you liberally put it on without it dripping everywhere. And you don't have to worry about, a lot of the crackle mediums. Like if you do the school glue method, you have one swipe with your paint over the top of your school glue to get it in place because you don't want to go back and forth and blend those products together. When you're doing this, you really don't have to worry about multiple swipes because you're just basically applying this over the top of step number 1. So you want to get it on there, and this is going to work the same though as the other crackle mediums out there. Is basically this coat, because it is thinner, it's going to dry faster than the top coat, and so it's going to make the two coats together crackle. It's going to split it basically. Now this, you guys, did originally have like a heart right here, and I filled it in. I was going to put a mold there. What is that? I was going to put a mold there, but with the way that the hearts are coming back right now, I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just go for it. Now, you guys, I am rushing this project, so we'll see how it turns out. Again, it's just paint. If I hate it, I just redo it, right? I mean, can't be any worse than when I found it. When I found it, you guys, it was like this really shiny hunter green color, kind of like made me think of being from the 80s and the way that all used to look. So we just painted over it. So Chris, what is your go-to then? If you've never used this product line, which is totally fine, what is your go-to for crackle medium? Do you use crackle medium? I'm gonna get my little knobs here. Make sure those are coated. They don't have to be coated really well, but folk art. Have I used folk art? I'm trying to think. If I've used that or not. I said I normally go for the school glue method, but I did have some projects that I wanted to, actually the reason I got this stuff, you guys, is I wanted to decoupage on some rice paper, and then I wanted to get a crackle over the top of the rice paper. And I saw, like I said, another YouTuber who does flips and stuff and crafting and stuff, and she used this product line over her paint, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's totally gonna work. Oh, the Paint Couture. Yeah, I haven't even used any of the Paint Couture products, to be honest. I've never used any of their stuff. But I'm also really limited to what I have locally to me. So sometimes my product line is either by what I can get local, or if I find someone that I like online that I feel like I want to support them and buy their product line. So, oh, well, DIY has a all-in-one paint, and I do, I used to sell the DIY paint line, and I do really like their cottage colors. But because I do a lot of like different distressing and methods like that, um, I don't use their all-in-one very often. Or if I use it, I'll use it like as a base, and then I normally put like a chalk paint over the top. So almost like I'm using that as a primer, and then I'll do the chalk paint over the top of it to distress and add all the finishes and stuff. So, okay, you guys, again, I don't know how this is going to turn out because I rushed the process of this, but here we go. I can show you guys what my other project turned out. Well, can I? No, I can't. I already put it away. Okay, I can't. So hopefully this will work because I don't have my other project handy to share with you. But let's just say it does work really, really well when you do it right and you're patient. But I'm not feeling all that patient right this moment. And y'all are here to see something amazing. So I want to show you guys something amazing. So, okay, here we go. Now we're going to dry it down, you guys. And at this time, this second layer, you do want to add heat. You want to add your heat into this and get it to dry pretty much as fast as you can get it to dry. You don't want to get too close though and burn. And you guys, I'm going to tell you on this Ryobi, I probably will not use this regularly. I probably will, like, this will be something I take with me if I'm going to be on the go crafting, or if I have a space that doesn't have an outlet near it, because it sucks up your battery like no one's business. I probably will stick with my plug-in heat gun. So the Ryobi for me, like I said, I actually just got it in yesterday. And I love their product line, and I actually use a lot of their stuff. But I'm gonna give this like a C for a score just because it kills the batteries. Like I have a whole lineup of batteries over here, knowing I was going to be using this product line. Now I do have I have all their glue guns, and the big glue gun that I have, it does take quite a bit of juice, but not like this. This is extra, you know. It's like above and beyond. So I'm hoping to get this dried down in time for you guys um that I can show you guys what the next step would be. But I'll just tell you in case, you guys miss it or I can't get this to dry right. But I'm going to add dark wax to this, you guys. And what's going to happen is this is crackling. And once the crackle is dry, that dark wax is going to settle in all of those crackles. And so it's going to highlight that. And I'm not sure what I'm going to put in the middle of this. I don't know if I'm going to put a picture in it or maybe add a chalkboard, make it something that people can, really use. But yeah, this is what was originally in it. Okay, it just had like a framed cheap print, and when I found it, and I just thought, well, it's got good bones. We might as well pick it up, see what we can do, give it new life. That's what us upcyclers do, right? We see potential in things that people don't really want. Welcome in, you guys. And if you guys would be so kind, give me a follow and check on, did I just missed the button. Check out my upcoming shows, you guys, because I have at the end of, now that time it died. See, that fast. I've already changed batteries. Okay. Next battery. At the end of this month, you guys, I have 2 shows, 2 trains that I'm going to be doing. The first one is going to be the Zero to Hero, and I've already got my project for that. I've got the pre-finished project up right now. So if you guys want to check out what I was making over, you guys can check that out. But that is a friendly competition train that I am hosting. And everybody had to get a project that was either free or um, less than $5, and they have to make it over. And the person that um, gets the most for their item in auction is the winner of that one, you guys. And they get not only bragging rights, of course, but then they're also going to get a spot in the next month's train. So that one is the Zero to Hero. And then we also have, I'm going to be doing Second Chance Showcase. That one's in there for you guys to bookmark. And that one, you guys, is I'm going to be doing live crafting just like this on that train. And that one, you guys, we live craft during the train, and then we're selling the items right then and there as soon as we're done crafting with them. So that one should be really fun. It's like it's going to be a whole day of DIY fun goodness. And so, yeah, definitely bookmark those two. They're going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what everybody else comes up with and what they're making over, how they're going to do it, that kind of stuff. Who can get the most for their items. I think this is going to be that's going to be such a good day. So excited for it. So bookmark that. I also have a lot of other different shows that I do. I am getting ready to head to Arizona, you guys, in at the end of this week. I'm heading to Arizona. I'm going to go see my mama and spend a week with her and check on how she is progressing after her. She had a stroke and a prolonged seizure back in at the end of October. And I was there with her for a month and a half and got home just in time for the Christmas holiday. And now I'm getting ready to go back and see her and stay with her for a week and see how she's doing. I'm excited. I'm excited to see her in person. I think I'm going to try to help her, you guys. Try to help her get her sewing machine out and see if we can't get her working on that skill again. And I talked to her about it a little bit. She's really excited. So hopefully I can do that. Last time I was there, right before I left, I was able to take her to her quilt club meeting and meet all of her quilt club people. Well, I try to be, she's, it's really interesting because my son had seizures when he was a little guy, and they were called febrile seizures, and they were due to a spike in temperature. And there's people who have epilepsy and things like that, but I never knew that a prolonged seizure that is brought on by other medical things like a stroke or ketoacidosis, which she had experienced a stroke, and then we think it. See if I killed it again. Yeah, I killed it, y'all. See, the battery goes that fast. Is that crazy or what? So she was in ketoacidosis when I found her, and but they think the stroke happened and then she went down, and then because she laid there all day, it threw her body into ketoacidosis. So we don't know what actually caused the prolonged seizure, but I didn't know this, but a prolonged seizure like that can cause brain damage. So her the strokes that she had, so she had one stroke at home that they could see in the MRI, and then they did another MRI before she left ICU, and she had had another stroke in ICU while she was sedated. And so the two strokes that she had, when I was able to see her brain scan, which was pretty amazing, the two strokes that she had showed the strokes as like almost like a little pinprick, like the tip of a sewing pin. But her prolonged seizure looked like a worm and was probably about 30, I would say 30 times the size of her stroke signs. And it is in her memory cortex. So she's got some memory issues, which is why she's in assisted living right now. It's not safe for her to um, be alone right now, especially not with her medication and making sure she does all the things she's supposed to do. Um, so, like, she remembers us though, and that, like I told her, that was probably the most scary part, knowing that her memory cortex was damaged. We were so afraid she was going to wake up and not know who we were, because that would really hurt how to take care of her, you know. Um, so, um, but like some memories are starting to come back. The really hard part is that like I went there because my stepdad had passed 2 days before him. Um, and so I was showing up to go and spend the week with her. Um, and at that end of the week, we were going to do his celebration of life. So I got there from the airport and she didn't answer the phone. And I thought that was really weird that she didn't answer the phone. She knew I was flying in. And by the time I got there to her and found her, all this had happened. And I know God put me there like right in time to save her, right? But, and I'm so incredibly thankful for that. I do have like one wet spot here and here, and then of course in those little indents, but I'm gonna kind of feel around and see if the rest of it feels. That other side's a little tacky. Um, but anyways, you guys, so I got there in time. That's the important part of it. Um, oh my gosh, Chris, I got to so I knew something was wrong before I even got there. Like, you know, you just have that feeling. Like I knew like, why would she not answer the phone? And so I kind of had like scenarios in my head of what it could be, like what could be wrong. And so I get there and all the doors are locked and I'm like, okay, and I'm knocking on the door and I'm calling for her and she's not, I don't hear anything and her car is there. And so I'm like, okay, well, I know she's here. Her car is here, you know. And so I went around the corner and luckily by her front door, she has a curtain there, but the curtain was up just a little bit. And I was able to see her on the floor. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I text my sister just really fast because me and her had been talking. And I text her really fast and said, get here. I can't talk. Just get here. And then I just dialed 911 and walked around to the back of the house. And luckily, she had already taken down her son's shades on her windows for some reason in the dining room. And I talked to the 911 person and I'm like, I'm going to break the window. And she was like, okay. And my son had welded my mom a bird feeder, and so I took that bird feeder. It was heavy. It's heavy as heck. I took it and I just threw it through the window and broke the window out and climbed through the broken glass window. I did cut myself a little bit, but nothing big. Um, Climbed through the window and got to her. And I tell you, those the emergency people were so fast. Like it was craziness. But anyway, so it was scary, but at the moment it was just like, I just need to do what I need to do, I mean, and I kind of laugh because I think, oh my gosh, this is the kind of crap you hear about like on TV shows and movies. You never expect this to happen to you. So, um, but the sad thing is when she did come to, she was asking where my stepdad was. And we kind of avoided it for the first 2 days that she was awake and asking. And then, okay, my battery just died again, you guys. So this is as dry as this sucker's going to be able to get before we do the next step. So I just went through 1, 2, 3, 4 batteries in the time we've been sitting here, you guys. So if that tells you anything about that heat gun and how fast it goes through the batteries. But I think this is for the most part dry. I think we're going to be able to do the next step, which is the best step of all. So, anyways, she does not remember him passing. I don't know if that's her brain protecting her from the trauma of it, or if it was just because that was so close to when she had her emergency. I don't know, but that was very, very rough to have to tell her that. So right now, bless her little heart. She's only she's 60. She's 67. So next month she'll turn 68. So she's not like super old by any means. So not only is she dealing with the loss of her independence and her memory and her abilities to do things and stuff like that, but now she's also mourning the loss of her husband, and it's just really rough. I mean, I feel so bad for her, but there's so many positives to look at, and this is what I keep trying to like remind her of, is like, she knows who we are. Like, she has enough memory to know who we are. The second stroke that she had, the one in ICU, affected the right side of her body. So her right leg, she couldn't use it all at first. Her right arm was really rough to use. And all of that has come back. So that's another like huge win and positive. She has the use of her right side. Like, I was thinking in my mind, kind of watching what was happening, like I kept thinking that maybe um like she would have a limp, or she would drag her foot behind her, kind of a thing, kind of a walk. And no, she's just, everything's come back. She's been able to do all the things. So physically, she's good, and she probably could go home and physically take care of herself, which is a huge win. But look at how liquidy this is, you guys. This is not a liquidy kind of wax, but it is just like sliding around because of how warm that is. I know. And she had her very first mini stroke here at my house 5 years ago. She was here to celebrate and go to my son's high school graduation, and she had her first mini stroke here in Oregon. And that, so we knew that was something going on with her already. And she also, her family, like genetically, have heart and strokey and issues like that. So it's kind of like it's already in her lineup. Like, we already knew this was a possibility, that kind of thing. And honestly, like, it's the seizure that did the most damage. And that's the part that is kind of like a little hard for all of us to like wrap our heads around and kind of know what to do and what to expect and that kind of stuff, because like, we've never had an experience with that. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't even know that could happen. And so that's the part that's kind of hard, because they said that physically she will get back anything and everything that her body is able to recover from the stroke will come back um, in the first year. The first 6 months, she will get back 80% of whatever it is her body will give her back. The damage that was done, um, whatever's not permanent will fix in the first, 6 months or whatever. And then she'll get back a little bit more the second month. Right, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. Okay, look at this crackle, you guys. So that inside, right? Okay, right there, crackled so good. This crackled pretty stinking good. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, it's got some weird little spots, but I think they're gonna like dry. Okay, so you see the little spots I'm talking about? Okay, so hopefully those will just dry out. But there we go. There's the crackle on that. Again, rushing this project along. This is what I'm getting. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's going to look really good. I personally really like the old chippy, distressed. I even dare to say like junky look. Not like garbage junk, but just like it has been around for ages look. You know what I mean? Rustic, yes. I mean, give me some good rust. Give me some good like I always laugh because I've done a lot of things with my business. I did have a brick and mortar for a little while. I say a little while. It was about a year. And but I've done vintage fairs for a lot of years. Of course, I've been a crafter for a lot of years, and that's actually where I started my home business. Was in the craft world. Um, but I've done a lot of things, and some of the things that I've done, my husband Jeff, he's so funny. It's not that he doesn't believe in my abilities. That's not at all what I'm going to say, because he does. He is probably one of my biggest supporters. But there's a lot of times he has seen something and I'm like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love that. And he will look at it and he's like, what are you even thinking? That is garbage. You know what I mean? Like, he's not on board sometimes. And I'm like, no, look, it needs this, it needs that, and it'll be perfect. And I will come up with something and he will just be flabbergasted at what I can do to it or that somebody else wants it. So like my one of my examples, and I always laugh about this one, is old amber bottles. Y'all, we know we love old amber bottles. Like it's a thing. And so my kids were out in my forest property here and they came across an old amber bottle and they brought it in and they were like, Mom, do you want this? And of course I was like, well, yeah, we do. So I said, well, wash it up and get as much of the mud and whatever out of it. It's almost kind of like they had um, dug it up or whatever. It was out in the forest, y'all. So anyway, Jeff comes home and I'm like, look what the kids found. And he's like, Jen, that is an older, not like antique by any means, but it's an older beer bottle. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that, but okay. And I'm like, well, that's okay. It's still really cool. And I think if you put it with a bunch of other amber bottles, it could just be really neat for like a collection or whatever. And so we cleaned it up and I took it to the vintage fair and I think I priced it for like $2, y'all. I mean, if it sells for $2, I've made $2, right? What am I out? Nothing. I didn't pay anything for it. So I put it out and I had a mantle in my booth. I had a mantle that I had made. And so I set up the mantle so that all these amber and clear bottles, and I think, did I have brass candlesticks? I don't know. I had a bunch of bottles and stuff, and I had candles in them. And I set some up with candles, and I set some up with flowers, you know, sprigs of flowers coming out of it and stuff, and just kind of showed how you could decorate your mantle up. That was my idea in my head. And that beer bottle was like one of the first items to sell. And I sold it for $2. You know, like, I'm not there to make a lot of money, but I'm there to make some, you know. Jeff was so floored by that. He's like, I cannot believe someone bought that freaking beer bottle. And I'm like, look, if you show them how to use it, y'all, they can see the potential. Anything can be valuable. What's one man's junk is another man's treasure. Am I right? Okay, what do y'all think? Does that look so good? I love that. I love the crackle medium. I still might put a little something there. I don't know. I think it just depends on what I put on the inside. Like I said, it had, so these have, you know, are pretty deep down in there. And this had the heart that was pretty deep down. I filled it with like air dry clay type situation. And, but it's still like you could see where the heart was. Like it didn't, it sunk down as it dried, which would have been fine for like a mold to go over, to glue over. I just needed it to have that surface. But and I still might add a mold. I mean, there's so many good things you could do. But as of right now, because the hearts are still kind of in, maybe I'll leave it like it is. Maybe I'll fill it over. I'm not sure. But that crackle medium turned out really, really good, you guys. Like I said, I'm really digging it. I'm loving that. So here is like, here's a good look at what that crackle looks like. I'm hoping you guys will be able to see it. Is that showing up good? I hope. It's thin lined crackles, you guys, but there's a lot of it there, right? It looks like it's just ready to start chipping off. Okay. So if you use the school glue method, you're going to get like those very wide lines. Like they're going to be a lot bigger crackle lines than this. Okay. And that's not a bad look though. It really isn't. And but the thicker you put on the either coat number one, either the thicker you put this on, or if you use the school glue method, the thicker you put on the school glue and your paint, because to be honest, I slather it with paint, like, because I only have one go. Like on that school glue method, you only have one pass. So like I load up the paint on my brush and I'm like right over the top, right? Um, and so the thicker you put it on, the thicker you're going to get on those lines. Okay. So if you're thinner, you're going to get either less lines or you're going to get thinner crackle lines. So keep that in mind. I don't know. I do know that I had a lot of bubbling on, on coat number one because I was trying to hurry it along with the heat gun. That might be what these dots are that I'm seeing. I'll see if that dries down and if those disappear. They could potentially. I don't think it looks bad, but it wasn't my intention, if that makes sense. And then but this basically is sealed in now, you guys, because we did put on the varnish. The varnish is going to be a sealer. And then we put on the dark wax. The wax is going to be a sealer. So this is definitely sealed in. I didn't do anything to the back. And to be honest, you guys, this still has its original sticker on it. This is the color it was. I may not do anything to the back. Besides, obviously, take off the price tag. I can't say if I got this at the thrift store for the $4.49, if I got it at half price day, because we do have like a color of the week and those items are all half off, or if I found this at the Goodwill bins, which means I paid for the weight of it, which means I paid like next to nothing. I don't know. So when I price this, I'm going to price this with the idea in mind that maybe I paid the $4.49 for it. And then of course it just depends on what I use to put in the inside here. That will also add to that factor. So you guys, all together, I made this. I finished this one today. I finished the silver jewelry box, and I think that turned out really, really good. And then I also finished the clock base. It's still drying. It still has to do its thing. It still has some dry time to go before it's its actual color it's going to be and stay. Again, I don't know if I want to put the clock face back in it or if I want to do something different with it. So I haven't sealed or finished this part yet because I just don't really know what I want to do. Um, but if I was going to do an assemblage in this, okay, I probably would not use wax in the inside at all because, as we know, glue is not going to stay glued down to wax very well. So I probably would use like a big top or even just the liquid patina to seal that in and just make sure that the chalk paint is sealed. Um, but yeah, I think my projects turned out really good today. I'm very thrilled with it. Most of these items, I think all of these items probably will end up in a whatnot sale at some point. This one right here, this jewelry box, you guys, I am going to go on to my social media and do like a before and after shot with it. I'm going to give it a little bit of time to finish drying down from the wax I put on it, and then I'll take that picture and post that up, because if you guys haven't been here with me for a little while and you don't know what this started as, you're going to be really surprised at how good it looks. I'm super thrilled with it. Um, it was not in pristine condition when I got it. I'm not the one who gutted the inside. It probably had a velvet lining, I'm assuming. And there is like a little indention here where like something fell on that part of it and dented it in a little bit. There is a little bit of um, like there's a spot right there. Boop, there it is. There's a spot right there where, it had a little bit of the outside coating chip off and stuff. I post on Instagram, on Facebook, and then I also have TikTok. So I'm not really good, you guys, at doing all the social medias. That's something that I struggle with. And, like I said, I've been in business for going on I'm probably at least at 17 solid of like actual business, you know what I mean? Um, and I've done all the things. I've been in all the things. I've taken all the classes. Like I could teach you a class about social media because I know about it. But do I actually practice what I know? No, I'm not really good at that. It's just a matter of sitting down and doing it. At one point, actually, I was paying my daughter when I had my storefront to try to help me get some posts going for my storefront and stuff. Like trying to just like think outside the box of how can I be better at this. This is actually what I've decided to do for my YouTube page, is because I am multicasting. So I'm here on Whatnot with you guys, and then it's going over to YouTube as well. And this is how I'm getting my videos over to YouTube. And it's not like the perfect method ever, because like I can't see what the YouTubers are saying and I can't edit out. Like my son cussed on my last video and I had to take it out. I had to take it down. Um, it's not like the perfect method, but it is getting content out onto my YouTube channel. So I am pretty happy with that. And if anybody ever comes into these Whatnot shows and they want to see what I've done, they can always go over and watch the video again on YouTube, which is nice. And so anyways, because I've tried for years, like you guys don't even know how many videos I've recorded on my phone, but I've not edited to get it onto YouTube. So instead of doing that method, I've decided to go ahead and just do this here. So you guys are getting me from Whatnot onto YouTube and all the things. But yes, as far as my photos and posts like that, I am on Instagram, I am on Facebook, and I am on TikTok. So I try to post there. Um, yeah, you guys, these projects turned out really, really good. I'm super excited about them. bookmark my upcoming shows. The next projects I'm probably going to be working on is I've already painted and I'm kind of like working on let me move these out of the way and I'll show you guys what I got going on here. So this one I need to completely paint. This is like just a ceramic piece that I found. So this has to just basically be 100% painted, but I think it's pretty good and it's got a lot of detail to it. So I think it will wax up really pretty. This one will be in my Birds of a Feather raid train that is coming up. Super cute. So I'm gonna be working on that one. This piece here is an old utensil, but it was just plain wood and all the varnish had come off of the plain wood. So I painted it up last night. It is ready to go, and I'm probably going to do that crackle medium on this one as well. And for this one, my plan is to take these cuties. Aren't they cute? Little nest, little birdies, and they're gonna go right in here, okay? And then I'll probably add like a bow or something. I don't know, maybe a messy bow, something like that. But there you go. That's what that's gonna do. And this is gonna go in the Birds of a Feather. And then I also have another train coming up that is, oh, that needs a nest. In honor of my husband who thinks that um, you need to put a nest in and on everything. So that's what I'm doing with that project. I still have this project, you guys, from last time that I did the craft with me. Um, this is one of those oil lanterns. It's like, here's that other part to it. Okay. This is finished. I did the painting, the distressing, the sealing, the decoupaging, all the things, right? This was the color it was originally, this darker color. I love the way it turned out, but I want to put ribbon like right here and then a really pretty bow on it. And I just haven't found the right ribbon yet, so I haven't finished this one yet. But this one is coming. I did a 4th of July project in one of my last videos. I also did a upcycle on a strawberry cutting board, you guys, and that already sold in my in one of my shows. This has to be finished. Like, does anybody else have like a ton of unfinished projects, or is it just me? This is gonna go 4th of July in theme. I think that's going to be really fun. I grabbed this guy out of storage and it was finished, y'all, if you could believe that. I found it this green color already and it was rusty crusty, but really not so bad. And I decoupaged, if you guys can kind of see the detail there. I decoupaged on a really, yeah, uh, that's my husband, you guys. Yeah, I have a ton of stuff. Okay, I decoupaged on this napkin. It was so pretty, and obviously didn't seal the rust well enough before I decoupaged it on, and the rust is coming out everywhere. So I had my son go out and give it a good sanding for me, because I had waxed this, you guys, after I had done all the things. So he gave it a good sanding so that the wax would kind of break down. And then I did take our the DIY clear, um I don't remember the name of it. Salvation Solution, I think, is the name of it. It is like a primer, right? A primer sealer. I don't have it in front of me, so I have it in my first in, first out jar. But so I've sealed it. I just now need to figure out what I want to do next to this because I'm obviously not going to paint the inside. I don't mind rusty crusty, but this is not a good rusty crusty look. I'm just saying. It's not rusty crusty in all the right spots. So I need to do something else to this piece. So this is on my list of to-dos. Not to say I don't have a million of them, right? I mean, I really, really do. And sorry, y'all. Don't mean to like be all up in your face with the camera and all. Um, another drink of coffee, y'all. I don't know if you guys can see my coffee cup here, but it says Happy Hubby. Yeah, I guess I'm the hubby this morning. That's what my kids decided to bring me for coffee this morning. Okay, but you guys come back. I don't know how often I will be doing these craft with me's, but I do have a lot of them in my whatnot schedule. Um, and so you can bookmark the heck out of all of them, and then you'll know when I'm on. It'll notify you guys when I come on, because I do move them quite often based off of um when it's available for me to craft. And as you guys know, as crafters, um like we the inspiration strikes when the inspiration strikes, right? um Here's a question for you guys. I got this beauty yesterday, I think yesterday. um no, no, I got this beauty on Saturday, you guys. Me and Jeff were traveling. We went to my daughter's cheer competition and up north. And as we were traveling down I-5, we did a little shopping. And so I found this. How cute is this? So it's rusty, it's crusty, it's all the things. The color is amazing. Like, even look at this. Like, look at the color on that. Definitely want to seal all that in. I am not repainting this beauty. This beauty is so good. But it does have somebody's name scratched in it. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, you guys can see that. It's got somebody's name scratched in it. I haven't even looked at what the inside looks like. Oh, yeah. It's just rusty, crusty goodness in there. Okay. So, Jeff says I should sell this. Um, he doesn't want me to keep it because, of course, at this point, he's like, sell everything. Yeah, a transfer, right? But I was kind of thinking maybe like decoupaging some rice paper just right here, and it kind of would hide the scratches. And then, depending on what rice paper I use, I could go back and do a transfer added to it as well. Maybe even a mold and add some, sell it all. Yeah. Um, do a transfer or a mold on it and give it some dimension. Like, this is so good though. Oh my goodness. I was very excited when I found this one. I don't find lunch boxes very often. And so I found this one. It was really, really excited. Um, so, yeah, this is definitely going to be on the to-do list. I just think the first step I'm going to do is seal it all in. I probably will seal it with this Salvation solution, just because it's a really good sealer. Um, oh, a toolbox like this. I have had not this green color though. Like, I don't find this green color very often. I love it. I found red toolboxes I've done before. I found a blue toolbox once before as well, but that might have been like a tackle box toolbox situation. But anyways, okay. So you guys definitely check back with me as I continue down. Um, oh, oh, turquoise is such a pretty color. Oh my gosh. Um, You guys, I'm going to be traveling back down my creative roots here as I go into the new year. That's one of the things I decided I wanted to do on Whatnot is get back into my creative zone. And I'm still going to be doing all the things Whatnot that I've been doing, all the sales and all the things that I've been doing because I love it. But I'm going to kind of step it up when it comes to the crafting and get back in here and start doing my upcycles and my crafting. And that section of my storage that I have definitely could be whittled down by me actually accomplishing some projects. So definitely bookmark my upcoming stuff. I appreciate you all like watching me, following me, chatting with me, all the things. Um, Real fast before we go, if you are a seller on the platform, even if you don't sell in the vintage decor, um, if you're a seller on the platform, drop your emoji down for me and let's follow each other. And bookmark each other's shows. I would really love to support everyone that comes on here. And you guys, my friend Chris At Home with Chris, she spells it Chris, so there's no H. Um, she is a seller here on Whatnot. She also has a YouTube page where she does some craft projects and home decor things. So definitely check her out and give her a follow and all the things. Watch her YouTube channel and those things. I bet you she would love that. And you guys, thank you for being here. Let's go see who we can raid into. Who can we bless today on this Monday, Martin Luther King Day? Let's go do it. Let's see what we can do. And thank you guys again for being here and hanging out with us. Let's see who is on. Um, Here we go, you guys. We're going to go into some vintage decor. This is a friend of mine. She doesn't have very many people in her room, but she's really good. So we're going to go check her out. Thank you guys so much for staying with us and have a fantastic day. Bye, guys.